Welcome to battle number 5 of week number 10 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to be pitting Drizzleboy's team, which is Harlem Gloomtrotters, versus Quest's team, which is Verocious Victini. This is going to be a really interesting and intense match, considering that this could very well be the match that determines if Quest or Drizzleboy gets into playoffs. Such an intense week. As a reminder, the Mega Pokemon available in this match is Mega Medicham on Harlem Gloomtrotters, and then the Z Pokemon we have is Silvally with Z Any Attack. Z Any Privilege. I'm like so scatterbrained right now, and Infernape with Z Attack Privilege, respectively. So one of the big questions in this matchup is going to be, what can block Mega Medicham? It looks like Mega Medicham has a pretty comfortable matchup. If it has Thunder Punch, it can take on Sigilyph quite nicely, or Ice Punch. I don't think anything can really handle Mega Medicham, so it's going to have to be Quest like powering through. However, Infernape is a very good Pokemon in this matchup. Its fighting and fire moves hit almost everything, and I do think it gets Grass Knot for Gastrodon, so that's going to be a Pokemon definitely to watch out for in this matchup. I think this is going to be really interesting. This is a really good Week 10 battle, and we'll see how it goes. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. The big question is, who is the lead? I'm thinking maybe Ferrothorn or Rhydon on Drizzleboy's team, maybe Infernape or Ariados on Quest's team. A Sticky Web would be very useful for Quest, but Infernape hits other leads quite hard. So yeah, we do have Devok, the Infernape, versus Ferrothorn. One Flare Blitz might be all it takes. We could see a switch in to Rhydon, maybe, or Gastrodon. Maybe Quest will go for the close combat instead. Oh, but actually he goes for the U-turn, and the Life Orb combined with the Iron Barb is going to do quite a bit. Carly now comes out, and Explosion is going to do some big damage to Carly. I guess that was a good switch out for Quest, because the Explosion would have really hurt Infernape. Probably taking it down. That might have been a Sash Ferrothorn. So the score is now 5-6. Carly is sitting at 37% and has a decent matchup versus a lot of Pokemon. It does have grass coverage for Rhydon, so Rhydon can't come in too comfortably versus it. If it goes for Giga Drain or an Energy Ball, that could be the end for Rhydon. And of course, if it has a Choice Scarf, it will outspeed Medicham. I think Cryogonal is probably the most likely Pokemon to come in versus Carly, but it could be anything. Indeed, we do see E the Cryogonal coming in versus Carly. I'm guessing we'll see an Empoleon switch in to deal with this Cryogonal. It is a rather obvious switch in to Cryogonal, so I'm wondering if Quest is going to go for that, or if Drizzleboy will anticipate that switch in. I'm not sure if Cryogonal has any moves that deal with Empoleon pretty nicely, so it just seems like a pretty safe switch in at this point. Indeed, Bomber the Empoleon is the one to come out, and Freeze Dry is going to do 27% to Bomber, which then recovers a little bit with leftovers. So Bomber is pretty comfortable in this matchup right now. It can go for a Stealth Rock if it so desires, or maybe a Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon might not do that much, considering Cryogonal has such a good special defense set. Its typing isn't great, but its special defense really is very nice. So it can live super effective special hits more often than people would think. The big question is, who comes in to face Bomber the Empoleon? It appears to be E the Gastrodon, and Stealth Rock is now up on Drizzleboy's side of the field. Tapu Bulu can be a switch in to Gastrodon, but Gastrodon does have access to Sludge Bomb, so it will have to be a very careful switch in. Gastrodon does have quite the move pool, and its special attack isn't too low, especially if paired with Life Orb or Choice Specs. This very well could be an offensive Gastrodon and that could do some big damage to almost anything. I'm thinking maybe an Ariados switch-in could be interesting at this point, but I'm not sure. I think maybe he's keeping Ariados. Kuryu comes in. Will the Sludge Bomb happen? Nope. Protect to scout out what Empoleon decides to use, and now Kuryu is at an advantage. Nothing is going to want to take a Wood Hammer, a Grass Hammer. And Horn Leech brings E down to 1%. Does it have Sludge Bomb? It has Sludge Wave, killing Kuryu. Good move by Drizzle Boy. The score is now 5-5. Gastrodon is barely hanging on though. And Infernape can... Yep, Infernape is the one to come in. What will Infernape use? Protect is going to scout out that move, and Infernape goes for the U-turn. Gastrodon is able to recover a little bit with that grassy terrain. Devok is able to recover too with the grassy terrain, so that is good for Infernape. At this point, I still think U-turn will be able to take out Gastrodon. And if not, we'll probably see Sigalith switch in to take an Earth Power. But Close Combat's actually the move that Devok decides to go for instead, just in case U-turn wouldn't take it down. Medicham is next. Devok might outspeed Medicham, so a Flare Blitz could hit extremely hard. I do believe it outspeeds. Indeed, well, it outspeeds the base form. I'm not sure if it outspeeds the Mega Evolved form. And the Protect to scout out the Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz is not going to hit due to that Protect. Yeah, it will outspeed. Flare Blitz takes down Mega Medicham, and Devok is sitting at 50% of its HP, and with a pretty good matchup versus the rest of the Pokemon. Of course, Rhydon will probably be able to take a close combat if it has Eviolite attached. But Cryogonal is the next one to come in instead, and Ice Beam does pretty big damage, taking Devok down to 5%, but Devok is able to take down Cryogonal, and it goes down in the process to Life Orb Recoil. Score is now 2-4. It's still anybody's game. Losing Infernape is a big one for Quest. Heliolisk, Misty comes out versus P the Silvally. And a Surf is going to do quite a bit of damage. Parting Shot allows the switch-in to Rhydon. But Misty is using Surf, which shows that Rhydon could still take some pretty big damage from a Surf. Rhydon still has the ability to win this, though. If it goes for a Rock Polish and then sweeps with Earthquake, but the Surf is still enough to take down Rhydon even with the lowered special attack. Silvally is the last Pokemon standing here, and Surf takes it down to 6%. Silvally goes for the Z move. It is Z Parting Shot. Interesting attack. I wonder why he went for the Z Parting Shot, but Surf takes down Silvally, and it is a 4-0 victory for Quest. And I think this solidifies Quest in the playoffs. It looks like Quest had a really good matchup with Infernape in this particular battle. He did use Infernape really effectively. I think Drizzle Boy really wanted to get Infernape out early with Ferrothorn, luring the Flare Blitz, but instead Infernape went for the U-turn and narrowly avoided that explosion. I'm really wondering how the battle would have went if he was able to get the explosion off on Infernape. Frankly, I would have gone for the Flare Blitz if I was Infernape. So I guess Quest had like a 3,000 million IQ anticipating the explosion. But really, really intense match. Great, another great match in Week 10. And tune in for some more Week 10 matches coming up. This is Noel from Sun and Friendly, and see you then.